Good morning. These are your Nassau Guardian highlights for Tuesday, November 25th, 2025, brought to you by your Daily Bahamas headlines, especially for people on the go and for those who are visually impaired. Lead story. PLP wins Golden Isles by-election. The Progressive Liberal Party has retained the Golden Isles seat. Darren Pickstock secured victory last night with 1,873 votes, defeating the FNM's Brian Brown, who received 1,636 votes. Turnout was low, just under 49% of the constituency's nearly 8,000 registered voters participated. This continues a national trend of voter fatigue, especially in midterm by-elections. Pickstock, flanked by Prime Minister Philip Brave Davis, thanked residents for their trust. He called the win the beginning of renewed work for the constituency and held a moment of silence in memory of the late Vaughn Miller. Prime Minister Davis praised Pickstock and told supporters that the party must now ensure the impact of the country's economic improvements is felt at the household level. He also hinted strongly, without saying directly, that the general election is coming soon, adding, "It ain't long now." Meanwhile, at FNM headquarters, leader Michael Pintard described the loss as a setback, but said the party will reevaluate, refocus, and retool ahead of the next election. Brian Brown told supporters he will continue his community work and will keep his constituency office open. Voters, flooding, bad roads, and disability access are top priorities. Golden Isles residents said the new MP must immediately address chronic flooding, crumbling roads, poor community spaces, and better support for elderly and disabled residents. Voters interviewed at the polls said Coral Harbor's flooded roads trap people at home, and many are hopeful for real improvements, not just promises. Prime Minister non-committal on early election claim. Prime Minister Philip Brave Davis gave a cryptic response when asked about former PM Hubert Ingram's prediction that if the PLP won the by-election, a national election could come as early as March. Davis simply said, "He's been around long enough to understand the politics and timing of elections." He did not deny the prediction. Guft rejects FNM claims of phantom company. The Prime Minister also pushed back against FNM leader Michael Pintard's allegations that more than $20 million in public funds was transferred into a company, Carmichael Village Development Project Limited, which Pintard says has no listed directors, no business license, and no employees. Davis dismissed the accusation as another phantom story. Pintard insists the government must reveal who controls the entity and where the money went. Haparshashpar Rick Fox enters politics. NBA champion and Bahamian entrepreneur Rick Fox has announced that he will run in the next general election. He did not state the constituency or whether he will run with a political party. Fox says his campaign is grounded in transparency, integrity, innovation, opportunity, and says the Bahamas must move boldly into the future before time runs out. 52-year-old man on trial. Prosecutors opened their case against a Shell gas station employee accused of attempting to procure sex from a 14-year-old boy. The trial continues before Justice Archer Mins. Young father pleads guilty to unlawful sexual intercourse. A 22-year-old man pleaded guilty to multiple counts after impregnating a 12-year-old girl. Sentencing is set for January 20th, 2026. Social impact: ending violence against women. Anne-Marie Davis, spouse of the Prime Minister, partnered with Zonta Bahamas to launch the 16 Days of Activism campaign, focused this year on ending digital violence against women and girls. She reflected on the recent killing of a pregnant mother, asking emotionally, "When will it stop?" The campaign includes forums on cyberstalking, digital safety, and protecting vulnerable groups. Community Wings of Hope and Black Scorpion Unit give back. Paradise Games' Wings of Hope Foundation partnered with the RBPF Black Scorpion Unit to host an early Friendsgiving at Persis Rogers Home for the Aged. The team provided meals, games, essential supplies, and donated $3,000 for facility upgrades. Unimpressive, but a victory nonetheless. Today's Guardian editorial says, the PLP win was expected because no governing party has ever lost its own seat in a by-election. but the extremely low turnout shows shrinking voter enthusiasm and a PLP base that appears less energized. Still, the FNM faces the bigger problem. It remains unable to connect with voters even when the PLP is struggling. The COI remains a non-factor. The real message: many Bahamians are simply tired of politics and the choices available. Letters to the editor. 1. Protecting our precious Junkanoo soul. Pam Burnside. Burnside criticizes government interference in Junkanoo and urges groups to reclaim cultural unity and direction. Rosewood Project is a blessing. A community advocate defends the Rosewood development in Exuma, arguing that residents, not wealthy outsiders, want progress and fairness. Staying informed is one of the strongest tools we have as citizens. Knowledge shapes choices, and choices shape our nation. Enjoy your day, be blessed, and be a blessing.